Don't you someday want to see a woman president of the United States of America?
What is the number one reason why you support Hillary Clinton's presidency?
To be honest, it's because she's a female. I know that's like kind of a bad answer to give since it's like not based on an issue.
Biggest reason you're going to be voting for Hillary in 2016?
Because it's time we have a female president.
So you're voting based on sex. Are you ready for Hillary?
Hillary? I think it'd be terrific to possibly have a woman president. I think.
What is the number one reason why you'll support a Hillary Clinton presidency?
She's a woman.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's literally all.
This country has over 300 million people. At least half of those are women. We can't find someone else, anyone else, to be the first woman president. You want a first woman president so badly, you're going to go with Hillary? Really? The fact that anyone would vote for this woman only proves that propaganda on television works, or that critical thinking skills have gone extinct.
The Clintons did not live up to their promise to disclose all foreign donations.
Now the foundation has had to refile 5 years of tax returns because at least 3 of those years they reported 0 donations from foreign governments when in fact there were tens of millions of dollars.
What? But that's okay. That's easy mistake, that 0 to tens of millions. That's an easy mix-up. That probably happened there is, if you were doing it there, like, okay, 10 million, you probably misplaced the 1. And all former Secretary Clinton has to do is address this simply and squarely and put it to bed.
Did foreign entities receive any special treatment for making any kind of donations to the foundation or your husband?
I know what she's going to say. I'm just going to write down my answer, what she's going to say, and we'll see if I'm right.
Well, we're back into the political season, and therefore we will be subjected to all kinds of distraction and attacks, and I'm ready for that. It is, I think, worth noting that the Republicans seem to be talking only about me. I don't know what they'd talk about if I weren't in the race.
That's funny. I wrote down no.
And the money that she's getting from all these foreign governments when she's Secretary of State is obviously a huge conflict of interest. And it's not just about her personal followings. Everyone's saying it's about the corruption, it's about the lying, it's about the cover-up, it's about the spying. And if you want more proof, just look at her as a senator. As a senator, Hillary Clinton voted for the Iraq War, voted for the Patriot Act, voted for the banker bailout. She is initiating policies for the global elite, for the very few rich establishment people who do not give a damn about you and do not give a damn about anybody else. And everyone is celebrating the fact that she's going to be the first woman president. Do not judge a person by their gender or their race. Let's look at the record.
I don't understand how you could even put such a thing on your car and say that you're ready for this woman to be the president of the United States, unless you're just trying to tell the whole world that you've completely given up on the country and it's time to throw in the towel. Because there is nothing about this woman that should make you ready for her to do anything. The media has been complicit in giving Hillary Clinton what appears to be this golden free pass, because they just all seem to know that she's going to be president in 2016, and that's just how it is. Back in the day, she was working at the Rose Law Firm, a prestigious Arkansas law firm that had clients like Tyson and Monsanto and Walmart, who she later sat on the board of directors for and helped implement this influx of cheap Chinese goods into America that has completely destroyed our economy. This is a person, and she's the one who's all about NAFTA. She's all about CAFTA. She defines corporatism. I mean, she's the poster child of it. If you open the dictionary, her face is going to be in there. She will destroy this country, and people are ready for her. It's enough to make you sick. Women have even been interviewed, supporters, strong supporters, over at the DNC, and they said, name one accomplishment Hillary Clinton had as Secretary of State.
You ready for Hillary?
I'm definitely ready for Hillary, sir.
What do you think her greatest accomplishment as Secretary of State was?
Oh my goodness. In particular, I honestly don't know to answer your question.
They couldn't name one. Hell, even the State Department's chief spokesperson couldn't name one thing that Hillary Clinton did right when she was Secretary of State.
Off the top of your head, can you identify one tangible achievement that the last QDDR resulted in?
Well, Matt, obviously it's an extensive, expansive
So
process.
no.
We're
Right.
looking at how it was done last
Just
time.
one.
Well, as you know, I've only been here since it was concluded, so
Okay.
I'm sure there are a range of things that were put into place that I'm not even aware of were a result.
I won't hold my breath.
But you know what? I can name a bunch of things she did wrong, starting with the fact that she tried to tell everyone that the Benghazi situation was based on some ridiculous YouTube video. Remember that fraud?
I also want to take a moment to address the video circulating on the internet that has led to these protests. We've seen rage and violence directed at American embassies over an awful internet video that we had nothing to do with.
Again, we were misled that there were supposedly protests and then something sprang out of that, an assault sprang out of that. And that was easily ascertained that was not the fact. And the American people could have known that within days, and they didn't know that.
With all due respect, the fact is we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
Yes. That's right. Heeding those warnings made no difference to her at all. It wasn't her problem. That was some security guy's department to look over that paperwork.
Officials were screaming out for more security.
You know, I do feel responsible. I feel responsible for the nearly 70,000 people who work for the State Department. I take it very seriously. The specific security requests pertaining to Benghazi, you know, were handled by the security professionals in the department. I didn't see those requests. They didn't come to me. I didn't approve them. I didn't deny them.
Those things never crossed her desk. So if you can see how she would handle that as Secretary of State, how do you think she's going to handle things as president? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know any of these things happened. But worse than all of these things, can you even imagine the level of warmongering the foreign policy of a Hillary Clinton presidency is going to bring to this country? Those same Al-Qaeda are the ones that we funded in Libya that helped murder Gaddafi and bring him down. And whenever she found out he died, she laughed with sheer glee. Not just laughing because he was dead, sheer glee.
We came, we saw, he died. Did it have anything to do with your visit? No, I'm sure it did.
This man was drugged through the streets and lynched. And Hillary Clinton laughed about that. Even if that person is Hitler or some horrible nightmare person, I'm still not, as a human being, ever going to be able to bring myself to the level where I would laugh with sheer glee at someone else being lynched and murdered. It's disgusting. It's the kind of thing a psychopath does. Unless we're going to openly admit that our government is nothing more than a front for mega corporations and corporate interests, and that it's nothing more than basically a evil global cabal, that is the only reason you would put this woman in charge of it, because she's maybe the only person that would know how to run such a thing. But if we're actually going to still pretend like this is America, and we still have the Constitution, and we're still going to have a country, and it's still going to be some semblance of normalcy, you would want anybody but this woman as president. You can't sit here and honestly say women, I'm talking to you now, that just because this woman knows how to wear pantsuits and has 30 years experience doing so, and she has a vagina, we got to put her in as president. This country has over 300 million people. At least half of those are women. We can't find someone else, anyone else, to be the first woman president. You want a first woman president so badly, you're going to go with Hillary? Really?